In this video, I'd like to ask you, why are you actually learning German? You might have a German boyfriend, or you might want to have a job in Austria or in Switzerland, or you might have German ancestors, or you might just be interested in the culture or the literature in general. There's many reasons, and to be honest, there's not one that is good or another one that is bad. The only reason that I personally found a bit doubtful is when there is actually someone else who wants you to learn German. So whether it's your parents or your school or even your spouse, I think you're going to have a very hard time. Let me tell you a short story. A couple of years ago, I had a student. She was learning Norwegian with me, and she kept insisting on changing the teaching method every 2 or 3 months. And I realized that she didn't make any progress with any method. Until one day I asked her, do you actually want to learn Norwegian? And the interesting thing is this question had never occurred to her before, because she had a Norwegian husband, she had kids with him, so she thought somehow she was obliged to learn the language, but deep inside her, she didn't want to. So once I had asked this question, she actually decided to stop learning it, and we were all very happy. So, of course, I don't want to lose you. I'm happy that you're following me. I'm happy that maybe you bought my textbook or one of my online courses or taking lessons with a teacher. But in case that you find out that your only motivation is coming from somebody else, then I'd suggest it's really a good idea to think about stopping it and pursuing something else that you feel more connected to. Of course, if you have to take German at school, my advice would be to pass the minimum grade so your teachers don't bother you too much, and also dedicate your energy to something else. But if you do have an intrinsic motivation, your own motivation, your reason why you want to learn German, then I would still like to invite you to reflect a little bit on it. Take a piece of paper, put some music, 5 minutes, write about what you want to do. Feel free to share your motivation in the comments. I'd be happy to know why you're learning German. I think that if you have a highly emotional reason, like for example, that you have a spouse, you might be very enthusiastic about learning the language. If your motivation is a bit more, say, technical, so for example, you want to have a job in Germany because the job market in your home country is not so good, but otherwise you don't really have a personal connection to Germany, maybe everything you know about the country is some documentary from World War II, then I think it still can be a little bit hard for you to learn the language at times. Forming an emotional relationship with the language that you are about to learn is very important. That's also the reason why we make these story-based textbooks where you're not having these isolated dialogues, but where it's maybe just more fun and you feel a bit more connected to the whole project of learning a language. So I suggest that in this case, you try also to explore a little bit on how you can find an emotional connection with the German language. Maybe through exploring German culture, German art, German literature, German sports, German music, whatever you are interested in personally. Okay, so that's my little task for today. Take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Write in the comments, why are you learning German? What is your motivation? I'm curious to hear from you.